Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title starts right now. Here's your host, Bill Napick.
Here we go. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I am your host, Bill Napick. Thank you once again for joining us. Yes, another real estate radio adventure is upon us right now. We have a tremendous cast, as always. So whether you're listening right here in Houston, Texas, the Woodlands, you might even be in Denver, Colorado, wherever you are, great information, super guests are assembled once again. So, and this is one of the last shows of the year. So thank you all year long for listening to the show. It is a tremendous resource for you. And if you want to go to any past shows, just go to stewart.com/Houston. Any and all of over 300 shows are right there, stewart.com/Houston. So let us begin right now. Our first guest is Marnie Greenwood. She is with Compass Real Estate. Marnie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Here we are. What a great time of the year. We close out 2019, look ahead 2020, but let's tell people about your company, Marnie.
Okay, so I am Marnie Greenwood. I am with Compass Real Estate. Was fortunate enough to be one of the founding members of Compass here in Houston. We launched in November of last year. November 15th was our one-year anniversary here. We have grown from about 8 agents to 140 agents. The platform is amazing. We are completely customer-centric and have tons of tools within Compass that really benefit our buyers and sellers.
Certainly you have some major distinctions, and it's interesting. I'm glad you brought up the original date because that year, first of all, has flown by in a magnificent way, and the company has grown in this short period of time.
Yes, and additionally, I will tell you that my business has more than doubled since joining Compass. I went to Compass really because I wanted to offer my clients more than what the standard industry was offering, and make the commission that I was earning well worth what we were charging. And it's really made a difference.
Well, when we think about the distinctions as far as Compass goes, let's tell people a few of those distinctions.
So I would say one of my favorite tools that Compass offers is something called Compass Concierge. No, they don't make your dinner reservations or go pick up your car. It's not a real concierge.
I love that.
Well, I'll do it for you.
Okay.
Okay. Right. But what that is a program where if I go into a home and I think, wow, we could probably get a lot more money and sell this house a lot faster if we replaced the carpet, painted, fresh coat of paint, staged it, and anything that I feel like would help us get more money and get it faster for the seller, Compass will cover those expenses up front. No out-of-pocket expenses to the seller, and they are repaid by the seller at funding and closing. No interest is ever charged. What that does is it lets people not have to come out of pocket all of this cash in order to list their house. They're not forced to put it on the market, not ready, and watch it sit. So I have so many clients that have taken advantage of that program, and the results have been amazing.
That really is a nice feature. And, of course, as you and any other realtor goes to a home to potentially list it, you always, and people rely on the real estate professional to tell them, hey, what do I need to do to get that top dollar? And here you've taken away a limitation perhaps for some people.
Correct. And even people that, let's just say they have the money, so to speak, to do it. Smart financial people know why spend your own money if you can spend somebody else's to achieve the same goal. And so we see this program being taken advantage of across the board, anywhere from a $200,000 house to a $6 million house.
That is awesome. Well, let's tell people also, when we think about the marketplace at this time, and again, very exciting to look ahead to 2020. Well, let's look ahead right now. When you think and have made your goals and plans to look at the new year and to serve your buyers and sellers, what are some of the things that perhaps you see that might be ahead, or what you're feeling in the marketplace? And then how excited are you for 2020?
I'm very, very excited about 2020. I think that we are going to have a really strong market here in Houston. I believe that sellers are catching on, that it's a very competitive market. You have to do what it takes to stand out in your market. They are more open to suggestions than I've seen before.
As we think about the buyers, Marnie, what are you coaching? How are you coaching buyers right now where they're saying, hey, it's 2020, I want to buy a new home at this price point in this area? Let's tell us how you coach the buyer.
Okay. I think it's a really exciting time for buyers. Anything from investors to people that are buying a home for their family. It's exciting to me because we're coming off of a buyer's market. We're still in a buyer's market. People have a lot of inventory to choose from. Interest rates are low. There are deals to be had, so to speak, if you are looking to buy in a really nice neighborhood. It's a stretch for you. There are probably homes in that neighborhood that are selling, at a level that is more affordable than in the past, and it's a good time to take advantage of that.
And it also is a time where we really, as a buyer or even a seller, would rely on the real estate professional like yourself even more so, because when we're getting into an area that there's a lot of choices, we have negotiations, we also need the counsel of knowing the particular area, and certainly you're also serving buyers that may not be right here in Houston, so it's very important that they know about the area, and that's what you're doing.
Correct. I also, when I show a buyer a home, they know if they like the home. They know if it's going to work for their family. Almost 80% of my perspective is resale. What's going to happen when they call me in the future to sell that home? So I point out things that even if they may be okay with them, if I know, hey, there's a huge market share that isn't going to be okay with this, I tell them up front so that everybody's going into the transaction with as much information as possible. Ultimately, it's their decision. But if they're buying something that backs up to a railroad track, I tell them, hey, you just knocked out 50% of people that would even make an appointment to see this house because it backs to a railroad track. So, and then even just knowing the ins and outs, which streets are better in certain neighborhoods, all of that is something that I study constantly, and people rely on me for that type of information.
And that's a good point. Any real estate professional, you have to be on top of things because things are changing in the industry. Paperwork is changing all the time, but also you need to know about what's going on in these different areas. How do you keep up with all that stuff? Do you have some kind of technique or system and procedure, Marnie? I have a feeling you're very organized.
I am organized, and I'm organized because I have William Finorn, who keeps me organized.
That is correct. And we were at an event not long ago and got to meet William. Let's tell people, as far as when they use your services, buyers, sellers, you have a team. You have William, yourself. So a lot of things are happening. Let's tell people how that benefits your buyers and sellers.
So what's great about having a team is it allows me to focus on what is most important in a transaction, which showing the homes, showing my listings, showing my buyers, and negotiating. I have a team that is led by William Finorn that I can say, this is happening, and everything from the paperwork to the staging, handling concierge for me, all of that can be done by somebody that I really, really trust, that knows me well. I take him on every listing appointment I go to. He is an extension of me, and I believe your team should be an extension of you. Nobody wants to feel like, oh, I was passed off to an assistant. I don't hardly ever refer to anyone on my team as my assistant. We all assist each other in reaching the same goal.
Very good point. That's right. There is that element to real estate teams, or maybe in other professions as well, is when you have that team and someone says, well, I want to use your services and not be passed on to someone else. So that is a great way to explain that.
Right. And I always am the person to handle any negotiations and advise them on the investment side. Is this a good investment? How long will you have to live here to get your money out? What are the pros and cons of buying now? Who are great lenders you should use? All of that is something that I stay on top of and am sure to share with everybody.
And in fact, I will say what John Maxwell says all the time: it takes teamwork to make the dream work. And without the right team, it could be a nightmare.
Absolutely. And we all have different strengths, which is nice. Instead of hiring, 5 Marnies, which people always say, oh, I wish he would clone himself, or I wish there were 2 of you. You only need 1 of me. And then you need a crew of people that have other strengths to add to the value that I bring.
Let's tell people you've been in the real estate profession quite a while now, and you have achieved top levels of performance year after year. Let's tell people just a few basic core principles that you use and that have served you well.
Okay.
Year after year.
It's funny. In the category of top producer, and I look at other people with the same production level as me, you say I've been in the real estate business quite a while. In that field, in that group of people, I'm a newbie. I've only been doing this 7.5 years. When you look at people producing what I'm producing, most of them have been doing this at least double what I've been doing. And so the principles and what I bring to my business on a daily basis to allow me to achieve that level of production: consistency, thoroughness, a true desire to want to help people. And I think that, that's ultimately the business I'm in, is the people business. I'm in the business of helping people. I have people call me and say, oh, I didn't want to bother you, but I have my daughter's looking for a condo. She can only spend $250,000. I know you list those giant $6 million houses. I'm sure you don't want to help me. And my immediate answer to all of that is I help people. I don't choose the homes, I choose the people. I believe if you have that mentality and look at every day as how can you serve your clientele? What can you do to benefit them? Instead of how am I going to make money? Am I ever going to get another listing? So-and-so got that listing. I should have gotten that listing. I don't think like that. I think if you can put your finger on a few things that are valuable to your clients and you consistently do those things, business follows.
And Marnie, with the last minute or so, what else would you like people to know, and how can they reach you?
So, what would I like people to know? Well, I will say this. Real estate is such a multidimensional career. And I think that if you're going to be using a real estate agent, make sure that you use somebody who does this full time, who specializes in their field and offers you all of the tools you need to make the right decision. People can reach me directly. Email is marnie.greenwood@compass.com. And telephone is 713-416-8402. Text, call, email, we'll take care of you.
Right there at 713-416-8402. Marnie Greenwood. Thank you, Marnie, for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
We're coming right back with even more. Stay with us, please. Stewart Insurance is proud to sponsor Real Estate Matters. As a Stewart company, we focus on uniting real estate and insurance. Our goal is for all clients to be properly insured. When you are properly insured, you're confident in the insurance decisions you make. Whether it's professional liability or homeowner's insurance, everyone deserves to be confident. We invite you to join the properly insured Stewart Insurance. Connect with us at stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. Stewart Insurance, stewartinsurance.com. Welcome back, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Yes, we continue. We march on, and now we have Janice Thigpen. She is with EXP Realty. Janice, welcome to the show.
Well, good morning.
It is awesome to see you. Let's tell people, first of all, You are Janice, but let's tell people about EXP Realty.
I would love to tell you. EXP is a virtual company. Our broker doesn't have to worry about the expenses of having a brick and mortar business building. And so it's a lot of money that gets to be passed back down to the agent, which also gets to be passed down to the clients, because we can have a lot of really neat, really cool technology that can benefit the sellers and the buyers.
And when we think about real estate and practicing real estate in Houston, and quite frankly, a lot of people that are in the real estate profession outside of Houston listen to this show. We are the fourth largest city in the United States. Some say we're going to soon be the third. But let's tell people, when you approach the real estate profession here in this massive area, it really is, how do you approach your world in real estate?
I look at the population as a whole as, how can I help you? What can I do? What can I bring to the table? How can I ease the transaction where we can identify what your needs and wants are as far as your home? Because once you buy it, it's not a house anymore, it's a home. And an open line of communication, to have them make their list of desires, and then we just kind of work towards meeting those desires.
So when we think about, again, here we are, end of the year, looking at 2020, I know you're excited about the upcoming year.
A new decade.
What are some of the things you're thinking about, and what kind of feel do you have for that year that's upon us right now?
Everything that we're hearing and reading and seeing, 2020 is going to be the beginning to an outstanding decade. Lots of good stuff happening. Prices are going to be good. Interest rates are great. So
that's amazing in itself.
Do you know how much more house you can buy between 3.5 and 4.5 interest rates? You can buy a lot more house.
A lot.
So a lot of home buyers are getting back in the market because they can now afford something that maybe they couldn't afford before.
Really? So let's tell people, as far as the buyer, and we think about buyers, there are a lot of choices out there, not just with existing homes, but there's a lot of new construction. Give us a word on new construction that you've seen here recently, say in the last couple months.
Everyone now has an idea. They want marble, they want some solid surface countertops. The farmhouse is very popular right now. We have a neighborhood not far in Magnolia, a pretty name, Magnolia Trees, Magnolia, Texas.
It has a nice ring to it.
It has a nice
Janice.
ring,
yes.
and they're building farmhouse houses out there, and pretty white, either white brick or white shiplap type homes. All of them have the white countertops, the gray walls, the coziness of feeling like you're stepping out into a farm away from the city, a place to relax to, a refuge. Because when you work in Houston and you commute an hour out, when you get home, you want a place where you can kind of decompress. And everyone can afford that in our area now.
That sounds pretty good. Do you have any left? Maybe
I know. Come on out. It's beautiful. And there's some rolling hills in this one particular neighborhood, and it's great.
All right, let's talk about that for a second. First of all, you mentioned, and these are brand new homes?
These are brand new homes.
Because sometimes people want to, the thing that triggers a real estate transaction is that sometimes we're tired of living in the home that needs constant refurbishment, so on and so forth. But here you're mentioning a home or development, I guess, that is brand new construction in a nice setting, decompressing.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. How much are these wonderful homes? Price range.
The last price check I had on this particular neighborhood, about starting 500, mid 500s, out in the country, but you're close to shopping. It's Magnolia. But if you haven't heard, we have the Aggie Expressway cutting through up to A&M. So 249 Aggie Expressway. It's going to open up the corridor, so A&M could be a commuter school. Never thought about that before.
I have not thought about that, but it does make me think things like that road you're speaking of, but also how the road construction and new development in roads changes real estate. And I mean, look at 99, right? I mean, that is an incredible road, and look what that's done for that side of town, specifically the western side.
You know what? Being born and raised in Houston, I have seen Beltway 8 completed. We've seen 99. 99 is not completed yet. We've got to work over the bay. The neighborhoods that are popping up, the buildings that are popping up. You just didn't think Houston could get any bigger. But there's already talks about another loop further out to 99.
It is expanding in every direction,
yes,
Houston,
it is.
Texas. It's almost, I don't know what other areas of the country are doing, but what's happening here I think is very unique.
It is. And, and something to think about when you're looking at these new homes and these neighborhoods, people are moving for a lifestyle, and that is so important. So when we talk about where you want to live, what is your lifestyle going to be? And there are opportunities for people to get involved with different organizations, different clubs, the Rotary Club. Hope and I are part of the Magnolia Rotary Club, in which we try to have some great service projects for the community. Houston's, if we don't have our kids, we have to build our infrastructure because we have to consider the children that are growing up, the high schools, the elementary schools. There's just so much involved when you talk about real estate.
Well, let's talk about Magnolia just for a second.
Yeah.
Let's say somebody's listening. Well, first of all, there are people that are in Houston that hear about Magnolia but have never been there. Mm-hmm. But also there may be people listening right now that might even be in another state. Describe Magnolia in terms of, let's paint that picture of what Magnolia, Texas looks like.
Well, okay, so Magnolia is basically a suburb of Houston, down 249, which turns into 1774. It ends kind of like where 1774 and 1488 hit. It's just a small bedroom community, but with the expansion of 249, you're going to commit your commute down to probably maybe 20 to 30 minutes from Magnolia to get to Beltway 8, to get to the Galleria or downtown Houston. It's on the cusp of exploding. We've got 2 to 3 new 4,000 plus home neighborhoods coming in there within the next 5 years.
That's incredible.
High schools are great. Elementary schools are great. It's still small town. Friday night lights. If you want to experience a Texas lifestyle in a Texas town, Magnolia is a good start.
Well, the other thing that I think you might be describing is that whatever the home is, whether it's one of the new homes that you're talking about or the resale, it sounds like they might be on bigger acreage or bigger lots.
No, I was going to mention that to you because
How about that?
we do. I live on an acre and a half. We have.
That's a lot of land. That's almost like its own country.
Once you move, it is almost like your own country.
An acre and a half.
Once you move out there and you get used to seeing stars at night, you're like, oh wow, what is that in the sky? Is that an airplane? No, it's stars.
It's a star.
Yeah. So it's a lot of farming communities, horse communities. So there's lots of options that we didn't have before.
So that's a good point. Someone that likes horses can actually have a home where there's a barn?
Yes. A lot of the acreage communities, if you have 1 acre, you can have at least a horse.
And there are people that are listening that have never been to Texas think that we all have horses.
Or oil wells in our backyard.
Well, that's right. So that is the vision. But let's tell people. So, okay, Magnolia, Texas sounds like a great place. Also up and coming. As far as people, let's just take maybe the last 10, 15 real estate transactions, buy or sell, or buyers, let's say.
Yeah.
How many have been from outside of Houston that you've served in that last 15 or so, if any?
You know what? Probably half of them.
Is that right?
We are a great place to live, and people recognize that, and they're moving here.
Now, the people that you're mentioning, are they from out of the state or just out of the city?
A lot of them are out of state, even out of country. I'm sorry, out of country even. We have some oil company. Exxon is right around the corner from us. We have Anadarko that's up there, Baker Hughes, Chevron, you name it. The Woodlands is about 20 minutes away from Magnolia. So it's a great place to live if you're, going to work at Exxon, or even HP is around the corner from us.
We hear a lot of people from California are arriving in Houston all the time.
Houston, Austin, Dallas. Who would not want to live here? We're friendly. We have forest, we have oceans, we've got it all.
Now that you mention it, that is exactly right. I got here to Houston in the 80s, and that's one of the first things I noticed is that how friendly the people were. And the second interesting thing, I think, is that through these many years, these decades, it still has that reputation for being friendly. Even when people come to visit on a business trip or something, they go back and say, hey, they're super friendly down there. Mm-hmm. So let's tell people, as far as sellers, real quick, in Magnolia, what's happening when you go to list a house in Magnolia? How are you coaching that seller?
Well, I think it's pretty consistent across the board, not just even in Magnolia. You need to declutter. Do we need to freshen up the paint? Do we need to freshen up the kitchen? What do we need to do to freshen it up to make sure that the house doesn't stay on the market very long? That's
And
pretty
usually-
consistent with any home that you find on the market today.
And I would think almost every home there is some level of bringing it up to speed that needs to be done, whether it's a paint job or even just the decluttering.
Right. I mean, so you can either not do all that and adjust the price accordingly, or you can spend a little bit to make a little bit more.
That sounds great. Also, what is it that you love so much about real estate? You're doing this, you have a bright smile on your face, but what is it that keeps you going year after year in this real estate profession?
It's a couple of things. It's the people. I meet some wonderful, wonderful people that move here from other states or even here in the same Houston area that decide to move further out. I get the opportunity also to make a difference in other areas. Like I said, we're with the Rotary Club. We have a big project this year, which we're targeting teenage suicide, which gives me the opportunity. Real estate allows me to have my foot in that door. I get to do my volunteering with Make-A-Wish. I get to diverse and give back to the community, not just through my clients, but also through other organizations in Houston.
And no doubt about it. In fact, the real estate professionals here in Houston have a great reputation of helping out in all these tremendous causes.
Yes.
Let's tell people, you mentioned the Rotary Club.
Yes.
So how long and what exactly does the Rotary Club do? Is it the Magnolia Rotary Club?
It's Magnolia Rotary
Okay.
Club. We're service above self. We do lots of different service projects in the community. Yesterday, we colored on bags for Meals on Wheels and stuffed them so the people who aren't able to get out can get little snacks. Our district grant project, which every year we do a district grant. This district grant is working with Reflective Life Media, making a couple PSAs targeting teenage suicide. Teenage suicide is a huge epidemic in Montgomery County, in Houston, Texas, in Texas, probably in the U.S. And we're hoping by getting the views on this PSA out there, my goal is 100,000 shares, is that we can prevent one child from taking their life, start the conversation between mom and dad and their children in hopes to prevent, something horrific like that happening.
Certainly a worthy cause. Janice, let's say with the last minute or so, what
Yeah.
else would you like people to know?
That,
and how can they reach you?
Houston's a great place. You need to move here. Come talk. If you have any questions, if any real estate people out there have questions about Magnolia, the Woodlands, Conroe, feel free to call. Always like to be helpful. Born and raised in Houston. So I love this town. It's been very good to me and my family. And just look forward to 2020.
And if they want to reach you, what is the number?
My phone number is 713-249-0781. And I'm at Janice at janicethigpen.com.
Janice Thigpen with EXP Realty. Give her a call at 713-249-0781. Thank you, Janice, for being on the show.
you.
We're coming right back with even more. Thank you for listening. Stay with us, please. Cyber criminals are on the offensive. In real estate, the average loss of a wire fraud scheme is $130,000. How do we fight these risks? Establish a good defense. At Stewart Insurance, we believe there are two sides to a formidable defense. Manage the risk, offset the risk with insurance. Concerned if your insurance is offsetting the cyber risk? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if you are properly insured. Connect with us at stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827, 866-798-2827. Welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I say it all the time. Stay close to your Stewart Title Business Development Officer. What is that? They are there as resources for you all around the city. Business Development Officer at Stewart Title. If you don't know who they are, simply Google Stewart Title. You could be in the Woodlands. You could be in the center of town, wherever you are. They are great people to know because they know about the things that are going on within Stewart Title that help real estate professionals far and wide. We have great events. Some of them are fun. Some of them are educational. All of the above, and some things that are just big surprises all the time. In fact, I know what you're thinking. I have two of our business development officers right here in the radio station. We're going to hear about them. First, we have Hope Moy. Hope, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill. It's always good to see you.
Thank you for that. And we also have Christina Sacco right here.
Thanks, Bill. Glad to be back.
First, let's talk to Hope. Hope, let's tell people, as far as the area that you cover for Stewart Title, let's tell them about it.
Well, currently in Montgomery County, we have three branches. The Woodlands with Becky Shannon House, and I cover two, Conroe and Magnolia. And just recently, it is big news and new news. We have a Montgomery location.
Is that right?
Yes, it is considered right now a satellite office. It's inside of Lake Conroe Realty on Walden Road. So now anything out further down 105 in the Montgomery area, we have that new satellite office to better help our customers and be more of a resource out there.
Constantly looking for ways to help people far and wide, no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Well, let's have it. As far as when we think about the role, we use the term business development officer. I always say that you are a resource for real estate professionals out there and even more. But as we think about that role, the term business development officer, how would you describe it to someone when you say tell people what you do?
Business development, I think, is us being a resource. Yes, we're sales, we're marketing, but we are constantly trying to bring new tools to the table, bring value to your business, increase your business.
One of the things that comes to mind, certainly we talk about events that happen, but there are educational classes. Realtors need to take continuing education, and you do that all the time in a variety of topics, right? For
Every
example,
month.
like what do you have upcoming?
Upcoming, which Christina and I both will talk about, we have Ted Jones, and that's huge right now in up and coming with Stewart Title. But furthermore than that, I mean, there's constant CE classes, Legal 1, Legal 2, all those necessary things that realtors need to do to accomplish to keep them going.
That's right. And Christina Sacco, you have some tremendous things that are going on all the time. But let's tell people the area that you serve for Stewart Title.
So I'm with Fine Properties, and we have 2 great locations for our realtors and their clients to close at whatever's most convenient for them. We have our Post Oak office, 1360 Post Oak Boulevard. It's beautiful, and it shares the garage with Post Oak Grill. And then also Kirby Grove, which is located on Richmond and Buffalo Speedway overlooking Levy Park. So our team of 5 escrow officers will go to either locations to work with you and your clients and what meets their needs.
We're there to help the clients, whatever it may be, right?
Absolutely. And each escrow officer brings a unique perspective, and they have years of experience. We just had Kendra Wessel from our Heights office join us at Fine Properties, and she has a unique background to where she's seen the claims, the underwriting, and she can think of the solutions. And in fact, I was just speaking with a realtor yesterday who had a recent closing with Jane Burkhalter, who's been with Stewart Title for nearly 45 years, going strong.
That's
and
older than I am.
I know.
45 years.
45
My goodness.
years. She's a tremendous asset
really
to
is.
us. And he said it was one of the best closings because she was very thorough. His client has only bought one house in her life, and this is the second purchase. And it was just such a great experience that Jane took her time and walked through each document and made sure she knew what she was signing and that she was comfortable with the process.
That's right. In fact, Kendra has been a guest on our show. And one of the things we think about, Parker Witt, who's recently on.
Yes.
When our escrow officers have so much experience because the real estate transaction can be complex sometimes, and there could be surprises, challenges, but you need to have the A++ team there to help you with your real estate transaction. That's what we offer people all the time.
And we want to be flexible. So if you have a client that needs to close at 6:30 in the morning, we are going to close them at 6:30 in the morning. In fact, Gary Stokes, again, has
6:30.
6:30 a.m. He will get to the office and he will make sure that your client is in and out to get to the office or to make a flight.
That is incredible.
It's truly remarkable.
It really is. And Hope, let's tell people, you mentioned, by the way, Becky Shannonhouse. Becky,
Yes.
I know she never misses a show, number one, but she also is doing incredible work, and sometimes you guys work together.
We do a lot of things together, actually. We
drive
call
to the
ourselves
meetings together. We
Yes,
know that. I always
we're
see
driving buddies.
That's
but,
right.
I mean, we are constantly leaning on each other and trying to do things. We want to show that we are a team in Montgomery County and we're there for you together. And like Christina said, having all those escrow officers, we utilize each other's office. We're always there trying to make sure that our customers are taken care of.
Okay, and you mentioned Dr. Ted C. Jones, and I
Yes.
refer to him many times, if not all the time, as the eighth wonder in the real estate world.
He's amazing.
And he was our guest last week on the show, so let's tell people, in case they missed last week, Dr. Jones is our chief economist at Stewart Title, formerly with the Texas A&M Real Estate Center as their chief economist. He's been with Stewart Title 22 years. His presentations are legendary. People
Absolutely.
seek him far and wide, not just the ones in Houston, but he goes all around the country. So let's tell people in the Woodlands and in your area when they can see Dr. Jones and how they can reach you if they want to go see him.
Absolutely. So we are having Dr. Ted C. Jones at our location in Montgomery County on Thursday, January 16th. It's going to be at the Palmer Golf Course on 100 Grand Fairway in the Woodlands. And registration starts at 8:15. We're serving breakfast, and his presentation will start promptly at 9 o'clock.
And if someone wants to reach out to you about that or anything else, what should they do?
You can call me at 346-224-1908, or you can email me at hope.moye, M-O-Y-E, @stewart.com.
One more time, the phone number is?
346-224-1908.
Is there a charge for this presentation?
Absolutely not.
What? That's a super deal.
It is all for you.
All right, Christina, Dr. Jones will be in your area. Let's tell them about that.
Yes, on Tuesday, January 14th, we actually have two presentations. Two, because the demand is so huge. And it was a great success last year.
I remember last year, they were back-to-back almost presentations.
Back-to-back.
And I was surprised that both crowds were busting at the seams.
Oh, we had to, because the demand was so there that we had to add a second session.
And what's the date?
So this year it's Tuesday, January 14th. The first session begins at 12 o'clock. So it's a lunch and learn. And then the second one will start at 2 o'clock, and it's going to be at the Amgy Tower right there at 1717 West Loop South, right there at San Felipe in the West Loop. So we're really looking forward to seeing what he's going to say about 2020.
That's going to be incredible. Is there a charge for that one?
Absolutely not. It's complimentary.
Incredible.
I know. We try to bring the finest programs to you.
So
all the
there
time.
you
about
go.
value.
It's blockbuster. Here we get Santa Claus at the end of December, and then Dr. Jones busting out the new year 2020, doing his tour all over the Houston area. So, Christina, if they want to reach out to you, what should they do?
Please call me at 713-325-1748. And you can always reach me via email, christina.sacco@stewart.com. And it's Christina, CHRISTINA.sacco, SACCO, @stewart.com.
There you go. And as people are listening, I know they want to close at Stewart Title. If they want to close in your area, Christina, or Hope's area, it's easy. They need to reach out. They could Google you if they forget the information or forget your number.
Exactly.
So there you go. 2020 is going to be incredible. We're going to come right back with even more. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
If you are a real estate professional, please listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, home buyers, sellers, and title agents, and their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your real estate business is properly insured. Connect with us at stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Welcome back. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, and now the much-awaited insurance segment. He's here. You've heard about him. John Bramlett. Ratings always go up during your segment. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bill. Nice to be here. Well, there's nothing more exciting than talking about insurance. So
Exactly. And people echo that all around the city and far beyond. So here we are, the end of the year, looking at 2020. It's super fun. And what a year it has been.
it's been a fantastic year. If you think about all that we've accomplished this year, the number of realtors and brokers that we've introduced to the Houston market through Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, introducing and reintroducing Dr. Ted C. Jones to the Houston market. We had 3 really incredible cybersecurity shows that really educated folks on what that concern is and how they can both mitigate that risk and offset that risk. You had some fantastic remotes from Cypress to the Nutcracker, where you just had folks from all over the city visit us. And then I guess one of the culminations was the fact that we celebrated our 300th show.
That's right. This year it was show 300 was about a month, 2 months ago, actually. But yeah, that's a lot of shows. That's a
It's
lot of people
shows.
that we brought to the airwaves. And the interesting thing, not just at the time of broadcast, and we've been having several times of broadcast each weekend in prime time, by the way, on 2 major stations. However, the shows live on the internet because people hear them a year later, 6 months later. It's incredible.
Well, it's really fantastic. I mean, you can go to stewart.com/Houston and find all of our shows. You can follow us on YouTube, so you can see the shows on the YouTube channel. And then Bill does a wonderful job, along with Mike, our excellent producer. We don't say enough about Mike, so howdy, Mike, that providing our guests their segments so
That's
they can
right.
turn around and use them as a marketing tool for themselves.
That's right. And a lot of people, first of all, the real estate professionals, a lot of them don't get the opportunity to be on platforms as large as this on the radio or TV. Some do, and it's interesting to see that, but it is nice to provide that special element to the real estate professional and even others.
Absolutely. So it's a wonderful tool to be able to deliver your message, share your point of difference, provide some opportunities for folks to, hey, I've got a resource in my community to utilize. And it also, I think the thing that's really kind of underlying about this, and the folks that listen to our show regularly pick up on it, is there's always something with each of our guests that we learn, that they're not simply here to self-promote, that they're always providing nuggets of education for our listeners.
And one of the things I do, for whatever reason, sometimes I ask the same question, sometimes on the same show, but it is always interesting, that same thought that you have, to hear how people answer the same question in a different way. And it also brings out their personality and their love of real estate in most cases.
Absolutely. I mean, all of our guests have a passion for real estate. All our guests have a passion for their clients. All our guests have a passion for, making folks' lives better. And that's, I guess, why this show, even though we're at 307 now,
Lost track, yeah.
is still fresh, still exciting.
In fact, as I'm reminiscing right now, not just this year, but other than real estate professionals, mortgage people, we've had decorators, home stagers, FBI agents,
Yes.
major authors. In fact, way back, we even had the police dog from the Fulshire Police Department, K9 Bell, and she's a regular listener. She was right here in the studio. I think that was in our first or second year, and she was barking on command. We had the police, the captain, and the handler of that dog, of K9 Bell, and it's incredible. You just never know what's going to happen.
Well, we have to have a goal then for 2020 to find a way to top K9 Bell.
Well, I'll tell you, one thing is I do have a mental note to reach out again to the Fulshire Police Department to invite K9 Bell on again. Going back to the remote in Cyprus, we were on a boat doing the show.
Absolutely.
On the town lake, and that was incredible. Yeah.
It's been a year for firsts. I had the good pleasure of teaching a CE class for our Stewart Title offices down in Clear Lake and Friendswood, Santa Fe, Texas City, Galveston, and their realtor customers and prospects. And I taught the class on a bus going to the LaBerge. So there's the first time I've ever taught a CE class standing up with notes in one hand and a microphone in the other.
There you.
So it's been a year of firsts.
It has been, and it's almost as I talk about this being an adventure, usually at the beginning of each show, and it's almost like we're at the front end of a ship, whatever that's called. I don't know the term, but we're there with the binoculars looking ahead. What is 2020 as we navigate the waters of 2020, January, February? What's going to unfold? It's going to be fascinating, and I think we're going to put some extra effort, I know I will, into making it even more interesting, if that's possible, this coming year.
Absolutely. I think the goal is still to continue to educate, to inform, provide value both for our realtor and real estate broker and customers, as well as our potential home buyers and home sellers. So it's really kind of the resource for real estate.
It's also a place where people can hear about insurance, take care to be properly insured, as we say at Stewart Insurance. That is your motto right there. And people have insurance needs. Guess what? Every year, every 6 months, it's time to renew something, right?
Absolutely.
It seems like. So if they want to reach out to you, flood insurance, and cyber liability insurance, if they want to reach out to Stewart Insurance, let's tell people what they should do.
They can call me at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827, or reach us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
That's incredible. And I do want to say Tom Carpentier, he leads the company. He's the
Yes.
president of Stewart Insurance, leading the company in a magnificent way 24/7, sometimes even when he sleeps.
Sometimes even when he sleeps.
How does he do it?
He has insurance on his mind. He's passionate about helping customers or helping our clients offset risk, passionate about helping them mitigate risk. We're passionate about uniting real estate and insurance to be that resource. So if you have an insurance need that's related to the real estate world, we're there to help.
In fact, there was a song, Georgia on My Mind.
Yes.
How about insurance on my mind? I'm going to work on that one too. Maybe I'll have
Absolutely.
that ready by June. In the meantime, John, what else would you like people to know?
Well, I think you ought to get the song ready a little earlier because Tom was always singing in the office. So it would
All
be
right.
helpful to have that song. But if you would like somebody to visit with about your home, auto, flood insurance, your property and casualty, your professional liability, your workers' comp, your general liability, we're here to help. If you're a real estate broker and when you'd like to have one resource for your entire insurance needs, whether it be recommendations for your home buyers and sellers for their homeowners insurance or for your business insurance, we would love to be able to help you with Stewart Insurance, 866-798-2827.
Reading my mind one more time.
866-798-2827.
Thank you, John Bramlett. And now she is back, Marnie Greenwood with Compass Real Estate. Marnie, welcome back to the show. And here we are. As we wind up things, Marnie, what are some of the other things? We mentioned this at the break. I have to hit it just for a second. You are so busy, top producer in the real estate world, but also we all have a personal life. How do you handle the work-life balance?
I can probably preach it better than I actually do it, but I do give it a shot. I have 2 kids in college, and I have 2 7th graders that I adopted at birth. And so
They're both in 7th grade?
they're both in 7th grade. They're 8 months apart with different birth parents. So that is, very, very busy. And the ages are from 13 to 21. So whatever can be thrown at me, from school plays to just simple Venmo requests from the college kids, it's always something. But exercise is important to me, and then I utilize a lot of things that are just save me time. Just try to use all of today's resources to make the task easier and, achieved faster.
Exactly. Well, we want to make technology work for us. And
Yeah.
that's interesting because when we get our message out as real estate professionals, a title company, whatever, we want people to remember us in a good way as to providing value all the time.
Absolutely. Before I even started real estate, I had a jewelry show that was Marnie Rocks. And even in real estate, people still say all the time, Marnie Rocks, Marnie Rocks.
Can't
and
forget
it's
it.
just, you can't forget it.
Well, Marnie, let's tell people how they can reach out to you once again.
713-416-8402, marnie.greenwood@compass.com. And also Instagram is a really great way to see more of my work. And you can always message me there, and that is Greenwood Marnie.
713-416-8402. We want to also say once again hello to William. He's out there doing tremendous work as your extension.
Absolutely. You get me, you get William.
No doubt about it.
All
Thank you
right.
so much,
You're
Marnie
welcome.
Greenwood. She is back. Janice Thigpen with EXP Realty. Janice, as we wind up the show, what else would you like people to know, whether they're in Magnolia, Houston, Denver, wherever they're listening?
It's a great time to buy or sell.
I love that because it's always a great
It's
time.
always a great time. And spring's around the corner, and what happens in the springtime? Flowers bloom. So lots of things
People
open
buy
up.
and sell real estate
yes.
in the springtime.
And Houston's a great place to buy, anywhere in Houston.
It really is. In fact, when we think about the idea of people buying here in Houston because of so many reasons, but a lot of investors.
We have lots of investors in the area. We have lots of people looking at maybe going into neighborhoods that are, so Riverside Terrace is one of those neighborhoods.
Where's that?
It's right off of 288 in the shadow of the medical center. Beautiful old neighborhood, great homes built in the 20s and 30s. If you haven't explored the 3rd Ward and Riverside Terrace area, it's an interesting tour.
I have not. Riverside Terrace.
Yes.
That sounds great. Almost, I don't know. Do they have porches there? It sounds like they need a porch. If
There's
you're in
probably
the,
some porches,
okay.
some
Or we
even
could
some
build it.
basements.
And
So,
they're in Riverside Terrace?
Riverside Terrace.
Man, I haven't seen a basement since I've been in Pennsylvania, and that's a long time.
That's a long time. That's too long.
Basements are tremendous. Let's tell people, what else would you like them to know before we close out this special
you have
show?
choices, and so make sure whenever you get ready to buy or sell your next home, you talk to the agent. Make sure your communication style works, that your personalities work, so y'all can have a successful transaction.
And how can people reach you, Janice?
You can reach me at janice@janicethigpen.com, 713-249-0781. And you have my website, janicethigpen.com.
There you go. Give her a call, 713-249-0781. And Janice, should people be sad that the show is ending at the time of broadcast?
No, there's more to come, and you're at the fingertips. You're in the air.
That is
always
correct.
available.
That is the right answer, because you can always go to Stewart.com/Houston to hear any and all the shows. And yes, this is over 300 shows near the end of the year. We're so glad that you've joined us on these many episodes. So whether you're listening in Houston or anywhere else, thank you for listening. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Always go to Stewart.com/Houston. We thank Tom Carpentier and everyone at Stewart Title for helping promote this show and keeping it going. Roseanne Rogers doing incredible work there as our sales manager, leading the company in a tremendous way. Thank you again for listening. Go to Stewart.com/Houston to hear any and all the shows except the first show, because we still can't find it, but we're still looking. Thank you for listening. Have a great holiday season. Have a great new year. 2020 is going to be tremendous. Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Navick. Thank you for our tremendous guests, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.